It's super common for doctors to overpay on their taxes, mostly because doctors use their accountants as their go-tos for everything finance. And so it may seem counterintuitive that an accountant should save you the most on taxes, but there's also planning and effective planning when you look at your investments and taxes at the same time. Hi, I'm Genhee, physician and founder of ElevateMD. In this video, I'm going to talk about the number one reason why doctors overpay in taxes. When we think about what an accountant does in their role, they're really like forensic compliance officers. And what I mean by forensic compliance officers is that they deal with all of last year's transactions to try and save you the most in taxes. But there's a lot of effective tax planning that can happen when you consider what investments to buy. And when you proactively think about the taxes saved before you buy an investment, then you'll be able to save a lot more taxes when it comes time for the taxman to collect his money. And this is insight that's often either overlooked or not even considered. The tax code system is tremendously complicated in Canada, and accountants are really looking at compliance for taxes and tax implication on transactions that have happened in our lives the year before. They don't look at the future implication of taxes 5 or 10 years down the road, and they don't have the qualifications to tell us what investment tools to use or what specifically to invest in 10 years from now to make sure that we're mitigating tax effectively. So when we think about the role of an accountant with effective wealth building, the conventional use of an accountant as a forensic compliance officer or as that professional that only looks at past transactions, we're really selling ourselves short on optimal wealth building. When we start to consider wealth building with respect to looking at the future value of money and the tax implications, then that's when the real magic happens. One of the most effective changes that I made when it came to effective wealth building and taxes is having my wealth managers and my accountant sitting in one room with my husband and I talking about how we can best plan for future tax mitigation. Saving in the future in taxes is equivalent to wealth building, but oftentimes we focus on investments and investment products and how well they can perform. But if we just pause for a second and think about how we can save on future taxes, that's just as effective, if not even more effective, than trying to pick the right stock and trying to beat the market by playing the market. Because as we all know, no one beats the market. As soon as I recognized that a financial advisor has to understand some level of tax to effectively plan and build wealth efficiently, and when we brought our financial advisors together with our accountant in one room, we were automatically saving tens of thousands of dollars in taxes. And the reason for that is because we weren't treating each financial component of wealth building in its individual silo. What we were doing was taking a multidisciplinary approach and understanding that choosing your investments and understanding the tax treatment around it, both before, during, and after holding that investment, is super important to do. Once I recognized the importance of breaking down the barriers between professionals and opening up a dialogue with communication and collaboration, we really began to see the synergistic effects of effective wealth building. And once we achieved this, we were saving tens of thousands of dollars in taxes. And that money saved on taxes went to future compounding wealth building, which has accelerated and shortened my work life so that I can retire earlier. The other reason why physicians are paying too much in taxes is because there's an underappreciation of the journey of a dollar. What we tend to do is just focus on the cost of our investments and how well our investments are performing for us. And we leave all the taxes to the accountants. But the journey of a dollar incorporates understanding the income, how it gets taxed, when it gets taxed, and where it gets taxed. Taxes don't just happen at the end of a fiscal year, and they just don't happen at the end of a corp year. I realized that I didn't do enough due diligence to find the right professionals that I needed to make sure that we were mitigating tax as much as possible. So I then endeavored to find the right professionals to help me understand as much as I needed to know to feel comfortable that they were doing a good job. I was so angry at myself that I didn't know that I was having this silent wealth killer happening in the background. I thought I was actually doing okay because my accountant would tell me how much he was saving me every year in taxes. But really what was happening is I could have been saving even more in taxes if I had effective wealth building in place before I chose the investments that we decided to use. Once I learned from this mistake, I then recognized that it was important to have experts and the expertise of a wealth management team that understood that tax isn't just something that happens at the end of a year. It's something that you have to consider before you make the investment. And if you make that investment, what is the tax implication, not only on the investment that you're choosing, but on all the rest of your investments that you hold? If you find yourself as a high net worth physician overpaying in taxes, the first thing that I would say is you're not alone. And the second thing I would say is good for you for recognizing it, because most physicians out there don't even realize that they're overpaying in taxes. And that was me about 5 years ago. What you can do to help yourself mitigate those taxes is get your accountant and your financial advisor in the same room. Or better yet, find the right wealth management team that already has those systems in place and that cater to our demographic of the high net worth physician. I think you'll find, just like me, as soon as you're able to see the collaborative effort of the accountant and the financial advisor in one space, you'll be saving a ton of taxes like I did. I realized that there was a hole in the financial industry, that high net worth professionals like us needed a trusted and vetted resource where we could find the right professionals to build wealth effectively and efficiently so that we could have the confidence to retire earlier and we didn't have to work into our 70s to make sure that we lived comfortably above and beyond. ElevateMD is designed as an educational platform to help you find the right financial resources you need faster and better. If you want to unlock the key to your financial success as a high net worth busy professional, visit my website at GenheeSo.com. I'll see you in the next video.